Good morning, guys! It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in Manila. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Hey Adam G, your online inspirational talk show. Guys, it's finally happening! The woman whom I have been hyping on my vlogs and on my Instagram posts since January this year is finally here on my platform. Yup, you know, apart from her sheer beauty, she's really such a young, talented woman whom we have learned how to pronounce her first and last name. Yup, she's a businesswoman, a fashion designer, model, and entrepreneur. And we really have gotten to know a lot about her since since joining Miss Texas USA last year. And now that she has won Miss Texas USA this year, all eyes are on her now as pageant fans are saying that she could be the next Miss USA. So here she is live all the way from Texas, USA. Please say hello to Miss Texas USA 2022, R'Bonney Nola. Hi, R'Bonney.
Hello, maganda umanga, Philippines, mabuhay. Hello, and my friends in Texas as well. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you, Adam. It is so good to finally meet you virtually. We have been talking on the internet for some months now, so I have been looking forward to this. Thank you for having me.
No words. No words. No words. Honestly, thank you for agreeing to do this interview. It really means the whole world to me for you to say yes to this interview despite your very, very hectic and busy schedule. So let's try to engage some of them before we finally begin our interview. From Maria Jasmine Maganda. Um,
Salamat,
yeah.
Maria.
Hi, Queen.
Salamat.
You're so pretty. Oh my God. Reb, Le- Rebecca is also saying good morning to us.
Good
And
morning,
then,
Beth.
oh, Missosology is watching us right now. Amir
Ah,
Sanchez. Hi, Amir. Finally,
hello.
wow. You woke up too early, Amir.
Thank you for
Or
tuning
did you just,
in.
yeah, did you just wake up too early for you to watch us right now? From Bri Regino, oh my God, Miss USA 2022, manifesting. You're
Thank you,
amazing,
Bri.
Nola. Oh my God, so
Oh,
proud
hey,
of you.
Peter. Kuya Gabe,
From
thank you for tuning in.
and then from Connor Hickey, let's go.
Hey, Connor.
Who else are tuning us right now? Oh my God,
Oh,
so many
Haley's
hits
on
are
here, my
pouring
best friend
in.
Haley. Thank
Oh,
you.
hi, Haley. Hope to see you someday. And then here, Brighter Hano. Yeah, you spoke in Tagalog. You know how to speak
Bakit
Tagalog
araw? I am
pala.
learning.
Oh my God. Yeah, I love her speaking in Tagalog. Yeah, Amir,
Thank you,
super
Brian.
aga because I have to I have to be mindful of her schedules. It's 8 p.m. Saturday night over there in Texas. So I feel
It's
it's a more
okay.
convenient time for her to do this interview. So this is how I usually do my interviews, especially when I interview um, foreign beauty queens. I'm willing to adjust. I don't have a fixed schedule for my interviews. It really depends more on the girl's schedule instead. So I will definitely adjust to your schedule, to your time zone difference. So yeah, so
This
as
is
you can see,
perfect. This is a perfect way to spend my Saturday night. I'm happy to be here.
oh my God, from K-Bong Music,
Oh,
she's the
hello.
next,
Oh, hi, Kevin.
she's the
Thank
next
y'all for
Miss
being
USA.
here. Fingers crossed.
And Mar is also saying likewise, and even Adonis Kaskasan. Good morning. Yeah, good morning to you as well, Lito. So, you have been
Oh,
receiving so much love and attention from all of us pageant fans. How has it been like since your crowning moment 2 months ago? Has it finally sunk in that you're on your way to Miss
oh,
USA very, very soon?
Yes, it has finally sunk in day by day, especially because Miss USA is so close now. It's about, I think, 22 days. So every day is so valuable, important for training. But I make sure to start every day just being grateful and taking in these moments because this is such a special time in my life.
Yeah. So, what sort of messages have you been getting from your audience since winning the title 2 months ago?
I mean, I'm just getting words of encouragement, congratulations, people believing in me that I can do really well at Miss USA and in Miss Universe. And that just warms my heart. It really propels me on days that I'm feeling tired or a little bit low. I think of all the people that are supporting me and it brings me back up. It is extremely heartwarming.
Yeah, and what makes this win so special is that you're the first Filipina American to win the title in the history
Yes.
of Miss Texas. How does it
Mhm.
feel?
It is an amazing, amazing honor. Oh my gosh. And I hope I just set an example for people to embrace their culture, whether you're Filipina, Filipino, or whatever culture you have, to proudly embrace it and share it with everybody. As Miss Texas, I'm able to share the amazing Filipino culture. I love to introduce people to our foods. And I tell everybody you need banana ketchup in your fridge because I put that on everything. So I always give that as little gifts to people.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Are there a lot of Filipino stores there in Texas? I've never been to Texas yet.
Oh my gosh, well, you need to visit. We actually have a large Filipino community because we have a medical center here, and a lot of Filipinos are nurses here. And we do have Max's, we have Jollibee,
Oh yeah.
Gold
The
Ribbon.
the Maxes there in the States
Uh
usually
huh.
give out huge servings of fried chicken. Like it's worth your money if you order one compared to the sizes that they serve here in Manila.
Oh,
Yours is like
really?
double. I mean, over there, the sizes are way bigger than the ones here.
What do you know? America, we have big portions, especially in Texas, big portions. And we just got the Max's, I think, within the last year. So everybody was really excited about that.
Oh, that's nice to hear. Wait, I'm really before we get to know you deeper. I'm really curious about your name. You really have a very interesting name. It's really unique. Arbony. It's my first time to hear a woman named Arbony, and there's even an apostrophe. And a while ago, you were telling me earlier that the bony on your name, the capital
Mhm.
B,
Yes.
the B on your name should be capitalized. So it feels like a very unique name. Can you tell us or share the story behind your very interesting name?
Yes, so I am named after my father. When my parents were trying to come up with my name, they were trying to combine both of their names, which is Bon and Dana, and they really couldn't think of anything that was working. So my dad kind of won the battle. His real name is Remihijo Bonson, and it's R Bon for short. So I'm kind of the female version of my dad's name, R Bonnie.
Oh, so Nola is a Filipino surname.
Yes, that's my middle name, Nola. My full name is Arbany Nola Gabriel.
So your dad's surname is Gabriel.
Yes.
And then your Nola is your mom's, yeah, surname before maiden name before she got married. Ah, okay. So what's the name of your dad again?
Remigio Bonson.
So there's so it's like, a shortened version. Your name is a shortened
Shortened
version of
version of
your
my
name.
father's, yes.
Oh. Are you an only child
I am the
in the family?
only girl, but I have three older brothers, and I'm the youngest of four siblings.
So they must be also good looking as well.
Yes, I would definitely. I always joke though, I am the favorite child because I'm the only girl and I'm the baby. But I love my older brothers. They gave me tough love growing up and it shaped me into the woman I am today.
So how have they been responding, or how has been the reception like from your family? in
Oh,
your
they have
pageant
just been
career so
so
far?
Oh, they've just been so excited. They're so supportive of me. I mean, my brothers, they didn't know anything about pageantry, but they are on board now and they're helping me in any way possible. My brother's helping me edit videos because he's a graphic designer and they're just offering me words of encouragement. So it feels great to have a family supporting me.
So, can you share us more about your history? So, your dad and mom met there in Texas.
Yes.
So, where do they trace their roots from here in the Philippines?
Well, my dad is from Manila. He grew up in Manila and then he got a college scholarship to come to America. That was kind of his ticket to a better life and starting a new life here as well as a family. So he came to Washington first. He ended up getting a PhD in psychology. Fast forward to him moving to Texas, where he met my mother. She is from a very small country town in Texas, from Beaumont. So I am a proud blend of the Philippines and Texas roots.
Oh, that's nice. How has it been like? How has been your childhood like? For sure, you've been enjoying the best of both worlds.
Yes, I grew up with two diverse family dynamics. I mean, as you know, Filipinos, we have huge families. Our parties are so fun. We have really great food, barbecue, pancit, lots of pork, lechon, kawali, anything. And then you go to my mom's side, and it's barbecue, country food, a very small town that she's from. And I have a very small family on my mom's side. So I grew up learning, there's just different ways and different traditions and different family dynamics, but I embrace both of them.
But for sure, you cannot eat all those right now because you are.
Everything I listed, I cannot eat right now.
Wait, I think your relatives are also here. Haley M, is this your friend?
That
Magandang
is
team,
one of my
magandang.
best friends, Haley. I have to give her a shout out because Haley has been to the Philippines. She is my blonde best friend. And when she went to Manila, everybody was giving her so much attention. I swear she was going to come home with the
When?
husband.
Wait,
So
wait.
Haley loves the
Oh,
Philippines.
so besides her, have you also? When was the last time you visited our country?
2018. So I'm dying to go back.
Where did you stay during your 2018 trip? Just here in Manila.
That last trip was just in Manila, yes. But I've been to Cebu, I've been to El Nido, and mostly I spend my time in Manila because that's where my family is.
Ah, all right. So
Mhm.
that explains it. So, now that you have this title, how do you feel that a lot of fans are hyping you up, especially the Filipino fans, ever since they got to know that you have Filipino blood? That, oh my gosh, you could be the next Miss USA. Does that put so much pressure for you to do well in the competition?
I would say yes to its pressure, but I think pressure is good. Pressure makes diamonds, pressure pushes me. I feel like I want to make everybody so proud that is giving me so much love and support. Like I feel like it's an honor and a great responsibility.
Yeah. So does that also extend to the way how you feel about this whole thing now that you're in pageantry now, where everyone puts your name synonymous to the standard of beauty? Like when they think about Arbony now, they think about Miss USA or anything that has something to do with beauty. Do you think it's a big responsibility to live up to it, or are you even concerned about it?
I think it's a big responsibility being in the position I am as Miss Texas, training for Miss USA. But I want to take this responsibility to not only be recognized for my physical beauty, but my hard work and what I advocate for and my mission for making fashion as a force for good. Everybody knows, or a lot of people know, I'm a designer and they associate that with me. But I want them to know that in my industry and in my lane, I'm advocating for good causes, whether that's being sustainable, using recycled fabrics when I design, or also the sewing classes that I teach.
Yeah, let's talk more about it because when we go to all your social media accounts, it feels like, wow, are we watching some sort of a Project Runaway type of content? Because you just love what you're doing over there, creating clothes from 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 all these from all these old fabrics that you repurpose to something more fashionable with your amazing talent. So how did your love for fashion begin?
Oh, well, I grew up vintage shopping, going secondhand shopping with my mother at thrift stores. So that's just stores where clothes are older or they're kind of outdated or not trendy anymore. But I would find really unique pieces for a couple of dollars only, and I would see some potential in them. And I would buy pieces and say, hey, I want to make the sleeves different, or I want to take off the collar and add something new. And I kind of just had different ideas all the time about these vintage pieces. And that's when I enrolled in sewing classes. I was like, I need to learn how to make my ideas come to life. And after I made my first dress, I was just hooked. I was like, this is so fun. I want to do this more and more. And I just started sewing at about the age of 15 and kept rolling with it. I fell in love with it.
So I assume your mom must have gifted you a lot of sewing machines back
She's
during that day.
Yes, I owe it all to my mom for planting that seed in me. She would make my clothing when I was a little girl. She would make Halloween costumes or just dresses I would wear to church, and I think that's really what sparked my interest into making my own pieces. So thank you, mom.
That's nice. So how now that you know that you're competing for Miss USA, how does it look? So how does it look like? So do you really do all your clothes for the upcoming competition, or even the one that you are wearing right now, or even the wardrobe behind you there? So I'm curious to ask, what's the creative process like? Like, how do you divide your time between, making all these fabulous repurposed dresses and then at the same time training for the other aspects of the competition, like your fitness, Q&A, personality development, etc.
Oh my gosh. Well, yes, I do make all of my pieces myself as of right now. I would love to have about 10 sewing fairies make more of my outfits because it does take a great deal of my time up. Oh, there's one of my last pieces, my Filipiniana. It takes up a lot of time. I'm seriously in my studio every day and I will sew any chance I get, whether that's an hour here or a couple hours in between training. But I love it. And I love that I can be hands on and make something original. So I just find ways to do it. You always make time for what you want, right? So it's all part of the training formula for me.
So basically, you're a one woman show for your candidacy right now. Because I feel like, so do you do it all by yourself? Like you don't have an assistant to delegate all the work the work that you do so that you can probably focus on another thing during the day so that you can be hitting a lot of, hitting two birds with stone, so to speak.
Yes, I do all the sewing myself as of right now. Well, actually, I've done all the sewing myself in the past pageants. Now that I'm training for Miss USA, I have been reaching out to my friends and they're helping me with like little hymns and kind of little sewing jobs because they know how busy I am and I'm a little bit stressed about it. So I'm kind of delegating people just to help me with what I can. And as I move forward, I will say I do a lot myself, but I have a big team behind me supporting me in one way or another as well. And I cannot discredit my team either.
Ah, all right. So, you know, um, I'm really amazed. So, will you be wearing a lot of Filipina, or will you be wearing Filipiniana for one of the events going to Miss USA? Because you're very proud of your roots. That's one thing that we so admire you. You know, you're very proud of your Asian heritage, and we love that. And suddenly, you know what? The reason why I'm bringing this up with you is I remember Andrea Mesa, who
Hmm.
eventually became Miss Universe 2020. She's from Mexico. I remember um, in one of her events after winning during her media tour, she wore a Filipiniana as well in one
I
of her media
love that.
interviews, and she posted it on her Instagram, and she said that Filipiniana, those especially those butterfly sleeves, you know, make a woman very elegant. So can you also say the same thing?
I
Because
would
you've
say
been doing.
Something about a structured shoulder. I am obsessed with the turn sleeve, first of all. But anything that has a structured shoulder, when I put it on, I feel powerful. It gives me some sort of energy. And I think a lot of women can agree to that. That a statement on your shoulder is just like, I feel like a businesswoman. I'm ready to take on the world. That's why I love the Filipino sleeve so much.
Yeah, yeah. So I can't wait for what you'll be wearing for your upcoming competition. So I really like how you are, you know, combining your passion, which is fashion, for this platform that you have right now. So would you so can you so is it safe to say that this is probably the vision that you have already envisioned for yourself during the time or even before that you were competing for the crown of Miss Texas USA? Or are there any other vision that you would like to implement as soon as you win Miss Texas USA or even eventually Miss USA, that you want to say, okay, this is what I'll do as soon as I win and to hit the ground running?
Yes, so I have had a very strong vision for ever since I guess I was a teenager, which is to be a leading voice in the fashion industry as a designer that advocates for sustainability and eco-friendly practices in the industry, because I believe our industry is so big. Everybody uses fashion, whether you are into fashion or not. We all wear clothing, right? But we need to make practices that are more environmentally friendly. So that has kind of been my duty and goal that I have been working towards for a long time. And I'm just trying to amplify my voice. So being Miss Texas USA and Miss USA will give me the opportunity to educate people, as well as show people that you can have a unique talent, that we all have a responsibility to find our unique talent. I have found mine, and I hope it inspires other people to tap into what makes them special as well.
Yeah, so how can we really, when we read your resume, it's really loaded. You know, you're a fashion designer, sewing instructor, yeah, teacher for that, model and entrepreneur. So for those aspiring young beauty queens out there, how can they nurture whatever interest they have at the moment and continue for them to nurture this until they transition to adulthood?
Mm-hmm. I would say one, if you haven't found something that you feel like is your calling or what you're interested in, you should never stop applying yourself and enrolling in different classes or things that you find interesting on Instagram or TV, and you're like, hey, I want to try that. Well, get up and actually try it, or ask questions to somebody in that certain profession or field. I grew up with a very curious mindset, and luckily I had parents that were always applying me to everything. I tried like three different sports. I tried volleyball. I was in band. I also did dance. So I was always trying different avenues to see, hey, what is clicking with me? And that's
Yeah.
really where I found my passion. And for people that already feel like they have kind of a interest that they want to pursue even more, they should just explore every avenue in that field. So for me as a designer, I found my first internship when I was in high school, and that really gave me the tools to learn more about my industry. So you can go for internships, you can go on YouTube and watch endless videos in your field. I mean, there's a plethora of information out there, and I think you should never be scared to ask people questions to learn more about what you want to know.
Because if we really look at everything that you have been advocating for, it really feels organic. You really feel genuine and passionate about sewing clothes, repurposing them for our environment, for us to have a better environment. So that says a lot about how you want the girls to be following after you, or your audience to really take up something that is really close to your heart.
Yes, thank you. I mean, it comes from the heart. I'm kind of overly obsessed about it, but I feel like it's my purpose and I want to share that with other people.
Yeah, because that's a very I because the way I relate it to my life, high school is really feels like a crucial moment in everyone's adolescence periods. This is the
Mhm.
time that you'll be choosing your right set of friends and
Mhm.
just be probably be a sponge and absorb everything
Yes.
that you might be interested at. And
Yes.
for a lot of people, they could end up as jack of all trades, but
Mhm.
it's important that at that period of time they already know or show some interest about certain matters, certain things that they could probably take up in the near future, or that will probably help them in choosing the right course for them in college eventually, right?
Absolutely. I think we need to be open minded to all opportunities. Don't think, hey, I'm not going to be good at that certain sport. You'll never know until you try. So, something I also do as Miss Texas USA is go into different high schools and teach sewing workshops just to give people, the youth, actually an opportunity to learn something. And they don't have to fall in love with sewing, but I just always ask them in the class to at least try, even if they've never touched a sewing machine, because in the end, you just need to keep giving things a try.
Yeah, true, true. So how has been the response like? So have you been, grooming a lot of young designers already in their in your community?
Yes, actually, the response has been pretty well. Sometimes when I get to the high schoolers, at the age 14, 15, you're kind of too cool for everybody. But last weekend, I did go to a high school and I got 100% participation. So even from the boys that weren't really interested in fashion, I always try to make it fun. And sometimes I'll make it a competition between two teams in the classroom, like who can make the better design. So everybody gets involved in some way.
That's nice. Ah, oh my God, you're such. I feel like you're such a cool and great mentor to all these young kids. So I love that you're very vocal about your love for sustainability fashion. It really reflects on the choices or the wardrobe choices that you have been wearing for the upcoming competition out or whether on or off stage. So I wonder, talking to you right now, it really makes me feel guilty considering that you have been such an advocate for fashion sustainability. And yet here I am, us, basically the common consumer, buying all these trendy clothes from Zara, from H&M. So, for someone, so do you think, let's face it, fashion sustainability, fast fashion is the biggest enemy of fashion sustainability.
Hmm.
So how can you encourage us to be more mindful of what we wear?
Okay, number one, I would never want anybody to feel guilty. I'm just trying to educate. Number two, I even shop at fast fashion sometimes because sometimes I need a certain piece and that's all I can afford. And I really think it's up to people in my industry to fix a problem, not the consumer. I think we need to make sustainable clothing available for the consumer. So I really feel like it's my duty in our industry to fix the problem and not yours.
So how do you do it? Like, when you shop, are you mindful of the brands that you buy? Do you
Mhm.
double check the materials, the raw materials that are being used for each product? Because me when I shop, I just go for the clearance sale. So especially Zara. Let's take for instance Zara here in the
Uh-huh.
Philippines. So I basically shop every January and June because that's their clearance sales for
Okay.
their previous collection. So that's usually where I buy most of my stuff. And then when I went to the States recently to cover an international pageants, a friend of mine told me, Adam, don't just buy and buy stuff. Basically he's saying don't get into much of fast fashion because what might be trendy right now might not be trendy years from now.
Mhm.
So in a way, looking at how you are doing your candidacy makes me feel like, okay, I'll probably save my money for more important matters. As long as I have the basics clothes that I have, I don't have to buy everything that is coming out on trend, or basically, knock off of whatever we have seen from these all these fashion runways in New York.
Well, I think there's a couple really easy things that we can all do. I like to shop for staple pieces that I know will be in my closet for a long time. But you can also borrow clothing from friends. Borrow my girlfriend's clothing all the time. We'll switch pieces all the time as well. I mean, there's other options where you can rent really fabulous pieces so they get multiple uses from different people. I mean, there's just other ways to go about being sustainable without it being too overwhelming for anybody.
Listening to you right now, I feel like you're imbibing the spirit of Coco Chanel, or
Oh,
every
wow. Thank
or all these women who have led the fashion industry to where they are right now. Because I remember Coco Chanel was the one who inspired or came out with all these utilitarian trousers, or
Yes.
basically pants for women
Mm-hmm.
to wear, to make them more, empowered, to make them more look empowered and be at par
I
with
love
men.
that. You know that.
Yeah, yeah, over the yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, so growing up, who's your fashion icon that you have been looking up to ever since?
Oh my gosh, I mean, I love Alexander McQueen. He's a legend. I'm also really into Valentino and the beautiful clean silhouettes and the colors that Valentino uses, as well as Iris Van Herpen. She merges science and kinetic energy into her designs and they'll move on the runway. They're so beautiful and she really thinks outside of the box. So those are three designers I think I've been looking at a lot lately, but I am always exploring different designers.
Oh, so I mentioned all those designers. Hopefully, one day you'll probably come up with your collection line and, model it yourself in New York Fashion Week in the near future. Or
Yes.
maybe if you end up
Mhm.
becoming Miss USA and Miss Universe eventually.
Yes, that's a goal. And then we'll interview about it and we'll be able to talk about it.
So, we're talking about fashion, your Miss USA's platform about women empowerment. So, what do you think is the correlation between fashion and women empowerment, especially at this time of the 21st century?
Well, when you look at fashion, we don't really have any rules anymore. In the 19th and 20th century, fashion was so restricting. Women had to wear skirts all the way down to the floor, or we couldn't wear pants in certain situations. And now there is no rules. Women can wear anything that we want and still feel beautiful. And I think that's a reflection of our society right now. Us women, we don't have to be a certain role in society. If we don't want a family, we don't have to be. We can be mothers, but we can also be dynamic and hold a business or start a business. So I think in that regards of we don't have restrictions as much either in fashion or in our world. It's a direct correlation. We have the freedom to do whatever we want if we put our mind to it and we take ownership of it.
I like what you said. I like what you said, especially when you said that women are very dynamic, especially when we talk about the fashion industry. And let's face it, women have always, women all over the world have always had a struggle in
Mm-hmm.
achieving gender equalities,
Mm-hmm.
especially since what 1850s. And let's face it, there is still a lot of work to be done.
Yes.
Where when it comes to fashion as being used for today's avenue to advocate for women's rights. And let's face it, in 2017, we saw a lot of women's movements coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We saw women across the world don hot pink pussy hats, and even during the time of 2018, where all the Hollywood actresses wore black in protest
Mm-hmm.
to, you know, to the scandals and harassment that they have been experiencing in Hollywood, Time's Up movement. So, and I still remember even Natalie Portman doing that, making a snide remark as he presented an award about female directors getting snubbed for a particular year during the Oscar for a category during the Oscar. So I wonder now what how do you think have those women's movements impacted today's fashion?
Well, I think whatever's going on in the world with the women's movement, you can express that through fashion. It's a way to use your voice without saying anything. So what you're wearing, so all of those events that you were talking about, these women were expressing their voice just from their clothing, and I think that is when you take fashion to the next level. It's more than what you're wearing, but how what you're expressing and how you're feeling. So I love that that's happening right now.
Yeah, no, and I think there's still a lot of things that need to be done. There is still a lot of some reflection and things that need to change internally, especially
Mhm.
now that social media and consumer culture has shifted so much pressure on brands to produce on producing clothes ethically. And now that I'm interviewing right now, my God, you sound so relevant and current. Now that especially right now, where where millennials and Gen Zs
Mhm.
are the ones dictating consumer trends, especially there in the US.
Mhm.
It's very crucial. And I feel like your candidacy, not that I'm trying to bloat your ego right now, but I'm thinking about, my God, you're coming in such a perfect time in pageantry, especially now that, this is just an aside, guys. Especially that Miss Universe is being auctioned off. I feel like,
Mhm.
the problem lies. I feel like the organization has not foreseen that they would encounter this problem, that the Gen Zs, the millennials wouldn't be able to relate to the standard of beauty that they have been espousing for like what? For almost 70 years now. So
Mhm.
do you get my drift right now? That
Yeah, I mean, I think industries in whatever field are always evolving. They're always changing with time. So I'm always open to change. I think it's not good to resist whatever is moving forward. I think we just need to adapt and keep improving as long as we agree with it. And if we don't, we can voice our opinions and shift things in other ways if we feel is right.
because I feel like now that I'm talking to you, I feel like it's now imperative, apart from crucial, to research on brands that we are buying from. Seriously, now that I'm talking to you, I've
Mhm.
also interviewed a lot of beauty queens who have been espousing fashion sustainability, so that we can ensure that our clothes and materials are being produced and sourced ethically. I think that's the operating word there, ethically,
Yeah.
within the bounds of ethics. I feel
Mhm.
like, oh my God, if I wear too much fashion, like too much bling bling on red carpet events, I'm already, committing a crime against Mother Earth, apart from that. So you get what I mean. So
Yeah.
yeah, so this is what I'm learning so much from you. It's you're opening up my mind as we talk about everything that's happening in Miss Universe right now. That's just my
Mhm.
point. So Um,
Oh, I think we have some questions too.
yes. Wait. There's a question here. I, there from Sherwin Rimando. Let's engage some of our viewers who are throwing in their questions here. What can you say?
Hello.
What can you say about the fact that you will be competing with two other Filipino-American queens, like Hawaii, Kiana Yamat from Hawaii, and New Mexico's Susan Perez?
I can say the more the better. I am so happy that there are two more Filipina queens. It is a great time to be a Filipina. I think this is our year. So I love that Miss Hawaii and Miss New Mexico are also Filipina Americans. I think we carry the flag of the Philippines so high and we're getting so much support and we are very grateful. So I'm very happy in the position that we are.
So have you guys? They told me that they didn't see you, or they weren't able to be given a chance to meet you during their excursion in Mexico because you haven't been crowned yet. So I wonder if there's an extra effort for you girls, for the three of you girls especially, to really bond even on WhatsApp, just to get to know each other, because like we're all crazy. I think this is the first time that this is like a record-breaking number for Filipinos to break in the Miss USA's system in one single edition.
Yes, that's why I was like, it's such a great time to be a Filipina right now. I have actually met Miss New Mexico. She came to Miss Texas. So I met her in person. And then Miss Hawaii, we have DMs on Instagram. We're always sending each other messages. So I'm very excited to actually spend more time with them at Miss USA. I think we're all going to bond because we are Filipina. So really looking forward to that.
Oh, I can't wait. It's actually, I'm already anticipating that photo op once you guys are
Yes.
in Reno, Nevada. And that's like,
Hmm.
what, 3 weeks from now?
Yes,
So,
I think
yeah.
I'm gonna have to bring them some ensamada or something. Like we're just gonna have to chow down on some Filipino treats.
Oh my gosh, this will be one interesting competition. What are the chances that the three of you end up in top 5 eventually? Oh my god, we're gonna go crazy here in the Philippines.
I am hoping for that. Oh my gosh, that would be a dream come true. Fingers crossed.
And then there's also a lot of comments coming in.
Let's
She's
see.
so eloquent. Bring that in the Miss USA stage. Yes, yes. I think she'll eat the
Aww.
microphone alive once she
Thank
gets
you,
top
Adonis.
5. She looks like Gadot, and or even J Lo. Someone's even commenting.
Oh, salamat
Yeah,
Kuya Gabe. I hope you can
yeah.
come to Miss USA.
I see the resemblance. See, this is what I like about you. Your beauty is so versatile. You can look American in a certain photo shoot, then you can switch it up to in looking like a Filipina, and then now that you're being compared to J-Lo's facial beauty, you can be packaged Filipina as
I
well.
know, that's such a
Yeah,
compliment. That's so
I,
sweet. Hi,
I feel
Cynthia.
like oh hi from Dallas. I feel
Love
like
you,
your
Cynthia.
face is such a huge blank canvas and for makeup artists to really explore, play with. Yeah.
That's
Oh my
why I love
gosh.
modeling. I think you can wear so many different hats and looks and keep it fun and always experiment. It's just fun.
I know. Oh my God. I love your passion. I love anything about passion. So they're saying rooting for you watching from Minnesota. So we've been talking about your advocacy, your Miss USA candidacy, and let's face it, pageant puts you to perfection. So I wonder, what is one worst quality that you have, or what is one trait that you want to unpack that you still need to improve on?
I would say I am such a perfectionist sometimes, and sometimes I just need to take a chill pill. Like things are not always going to go my way, and I need to not get bent out of shape about it or stress out too much about it, especially now that I'm training for Miss USA. I want everything to be perfect and everything to be put in place, and then I get really stressed if something isn't working out right, or is my gown like gonna turn out amazing, all these doubts because I want it to be perfect. But I think I should never take everything just too seriously because like stress, you just lose sleep over it, you lose years off your life. And at the end of the day, I remind myself, hey, I am blessed and don't stress about that. And also, I think I put way too much on my plate. That is a toxic trait of mine. I want to do everything and accomplish everything, and sometimes I need to take a step back and just learn to breathe a little bit.
Yeah, I can really relate with you because I also feel the same way, especially when I'm doing a lot of important things that I need to be in control of everything. I need to be in top of every situation that I'm
Yes, I'm
going through in
guilty.
that particular, and everything goes wrong. I kind of feel like freak out, and kind
Mhm.
of sense my balance because everything is not turning out well the way I had hoped it to be. So yeah, I can really relate with you. So, you know, as you have been leading your pageant career, as I said, I'm curious to ask, have there been any misconceptions about beauty or about being Miss Texas USA that have been proven wrong or right
Well,
by you?
actually, yes. I'm actually newer in the pageant industry. I've been in pageants for 2 years now, but before I had no idea the hard work that went into training to be a beauty queen. I thought it was very surface level because I only saw what was projected on TV, which was the runway walk, the swimsuit walk, and the evening walk. But I didn't realize that beauty queens are extremely intelligent. They're very well spoken, and they do so much training, and there is so much dedication that goes into beauty pageants. So I found a newfound respect for the industry, and I love to share with other people because I feel like if you don't know beauty pageants, you just have no idea what goes on in our world. So it's like a sport. It's a huge dedication. I mean, I gave up my whole social life. I gave up my diet, my sleep.
Social life?
Yes, my friends
Oh.
know I still love them. We FaceTime, but I don't go out anymore because I mean I'm very dedicated on my goal right now, and I know it will pay off. But it is a huge dedication.
Wait, I suddenly got interested to, ask some questions about. So you're single right now. You have been single since being Miss Texas.
Did somebody ask that? I'm actually in a relationship
No, just
right
me.
now.
Oh, so how does he how has been responding to all your to this pageant career that you have, because you have been doing this for quite some time now, since last year, right?
Oh, yes. My boyfriend is so supportive. I mean, he's like the number one fan and just support system. It's great to have him. He picks me up on my low days, and just there's never any tension with that. Supports me wholeheartedly, and he understands that this is a big dedication that I've taken on, and he's very happy for me. So I'm thankful for my relationship.
I hope to meet him someday too. Wait, there's a
Oh,
question here from Alan James. Have you thought of using Pinoy pageant experts and trainers in preparation for Miss USA?
oh my gosh, I haven't because I've only had I basically have 3 months to prepare for USA, which I guess there is time, but the Texas team has a lot of trainers in place for me already that I am working with here in Houston and in Texas. So we are very proud of our team, and they want to work. I want to be working with them, so that's kind of the angle I'm going in for Miss USA is the Texas team right now.
So that's Miss Academy.
Yes, that is Miss Academy. There's amazing coaches there. There's mock interviews, hair and makeup lessons. So I have been going there. Thank you. Shout out to Miss Academy. I love y'all.
Yeah, and that's where you met Miss Malta, Miss Universe Malta,
Yes.
Maxine,
Hmm.
for the very first time. Oh my God, what
Yes,
are
it
the
was amazing to
chances
meet her.
you two might call each other Miss Universe sisters eventually?
Fingers crossed. Yes.
Yeah, and speaking of Pinoy pageant trainers, I think she has been an Arbony has been considering that you wore Rian Fernandez for your
Mhm.
finals gown during Miss Texas USA. I
Yes.
mean, I'm curious to ask, was he recommended to you? Did you seek him out? I mean, let's face it. I mean, you're there in the States where, let's face it, you have all the connections to all
Hmm.
these fashion designers at your disposal. So what was the dynamics in getting Rian Fernandez for your pageant gown?
Well, I saw his work online. I seeked him out myself because I thought he was an amazing designer, and the fact that he was Filipino was even better. So I wanted to support what he was doing, designer to designer. I just really respected his craft, and I just wanted to support him. I thought it was just a great way to display a Filipino designer on stage. He actually made my last Miss Texas USA gown last year and the one this past year that I won in. So I just wanted to show him love.
So will he be doing your gown for Miss USA? And if
Oh,
yes, prelims or finals?
maybe you will have to tune in and find out. I'll keep that a surprise.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. So there's another question here from Dorothy Jones. If you were asked what being a Filipina brings to pageantry, what would you say?
Well, I would say Filipinas are powerhouses in pageantry, and I think it's our work ethic. We work very, very hard. I learned that from my father to just outwork everybody in the room and to never leave any stone unturned and always go after every opportunity. And I think that is a very valuable strength to have in pageantry.
True, true. And
Mhm.
I'm glad that you brought it up finally. I'm glad that this question has finally been brought up because I'm curious to ask. I don't know if you could answer this or if you can share or reveal some things about it. Because remember, you were first runner up in Miss Texas USA last year, and
Mhm.
uh, earlier this year when we were doing all our wish lists for Miss Universe Philippines. We have been trying to egg you to country hop to
I
join
know,
Miss
and I
Universe
watched that
Philippines
video.
and Miss Universe Philippines instead because as soon as we found out that you had Filipino blood, oh my God, she could be she could country hop here and join Miss Universe Philippines. So I was like, I wonder, did it ever cross your mind to come over here and try it out, or is it something that Miss Texas USA has that you have been planning to do in order for you to go to reach your success in your pageant career?
Well, it definitely crossed my mind. I have dreamed about living in the Philippines for a long time now, and I hope I can make that dream come true at some point in my life. But being that I am 28 years old, I started pageants at age 26. So I really just felt like my lane was to compete in Miss Texas, on to Miss USA, and hopefully Miss Universe. And I just feel like that was the lane I needed to stick in and just keep going with that.
Because you mentioned at the start of the interview, remember you mentioned that you came here last 2018. So I wondered, weren't there people from the fashion or pageant industries who tried to convince you to, maybe try out for Miss Universe Philippines instead? So yeah, that was just something that hit my mind as I have been talking to you since earlier.
Well, it's so funny here in America when I meet another Filipino or Filipina and I tell them I'm Filipino, they're like, oh my gosh, you need to go to the Philippines. You can be so big. You can model or do pageants. They get so excited. So I've always thought it would be so amazing to live in the Philippines and pursue the industry there. And that could be sometime in the future, but as of right now, obviously, I am Miss Texas and working really hard for Miss USA.
Wait, I'm also what? Why did you only join pageantry at the age of 26? Because you tried to finish your schooling first, so that there won't be any distraction or get in the way of your candidacy, if ever. Yeah, in your pageant
You
career.
know, actually, the opportunity just happened at that time in my life. I was a model in the fashion industry doing a lot of editorial work and commercial work, but just never knew about the world of pageantry and was never introduced to it until I was 26. And I had a friend tell me that, hey, you should try it out. And that really just kind of sparked that interest in me. And I started studying more and more what it was about. And I said, this is actually really cool. And I never at any point in my life or any point in my time thought I was too old to start. I think, if not now, then when? I still have
Yeah,
time to do it. So why not?
that's basically my point. The reason why I asked this question, because a lot of
Mhm.
because you're starting out at an age where it's already the borderline for the age
Yeah.
limit of both Miss USA and Miss Universe, and
Hmm.
I feel like this is just my opinion. And as someone who has been covering and talking about pageants and covering a lot of them for the past 5 years already, I feel like the earlier a girl starts, the better for her, so that
Hmm.
there's time for her learning curve to
Yeah.
transpire. So just in case she loses her first pageant, she still has time to, learn, relearn, improve herself to maturity, whatever, until she joins her second pageant. Because I feel
Hmm.
like 26 is like, join is quite risky. But yeah.
I would say so, but I would not let that make anybody feel discouraged from joining pageants. I think everybody's timing is personal to their journey. So, I mean, I was 26 when I started, but that actually gave me a sense of urgency to really work hard and just cut out any distractions, and it really just gave me that extra push. So I think any age from, I mean, you can compete up until you're 28. So I would encourage even a 28-year-old to go after pageantry, because I have learned so much. It's life skills that you're going to carry on for the rest of your life, no matter what.
So see, since you brought up the age limit topic, what are your thoughts on, you know, on Miss Universe organization tinkering on expanding its scope uh, about a lot of uh, about married women
Mm-hmm.
or wives or with children joining pageantry?
I think it's a big change, and that's why everybody's kind of freaking out. Nobody really likes change, but I'm absolutely open to it, because I think a woman can be married or unmarried, and that doesn't take away her capabilities of taking on anything that she wants in life. Or even if she has children, I think we see examples all the time of celebrities or big CEOs with families that have two or three children, and they're still very successful in their field. I think it will be much more challenging because it is very demanding to be a beauty queen. But I would just want the woman to make sure that she's not putting anything on the back burner, whether that's her relationship or her children. But I would not doubt that a woman that has kids and is married can be an absolutely amazing beauty queen. And I would say, let the best candidate win.
True,
Mm-hmm.
true. But I'm really interested how this will all pan out. Considering,
I
let's
am
say,
too.
let's say, if a married woman decides to join and eventually win, how will
Mhm.
she try to map this out during her entire year-long reign? Will she be bringing her kid to her New York apartment? Will she be bringing her husband? How will she divide the responsibilities of being a mother to her family, and then
Mhm.
at the same time fulfilling the duties and responsibilities as a Miss Universe title holder? So this is, it's just something that I just thought of, something that
Me
came across off the
too.
top of my head, like how they will
The
balance
logistics.
it.
Yeah.
Like, being a mom is a 24/7 job, and so is being a Miss Universe, because Catriona just also revealed that, as a title holder, they don't have a control of what their schedule, of how grueling their schedule could be.
Mhm.
So
Yes. Yes, I mean, the Miss Universe organization is already very aware of the schedules that they give their candidates. So if they're agreeing to allow these women to compete, then they're well aware. And I think those are all logistics that I have questions about too. And I think we'll learn as soon as we do have our first candidate that is a mother or in a relationship. But I'm very curious as well. I think it's a big change. And like I said, I hope the best candidate can still win and fulfill all the duties in her life.
yeah, so definitely, because I'm thinking, like, the stress, the emotions,
Yeah, it's a lot.
once, and how she will juggle everything, the pressure, the stress, the anxiety. So there's a question here from Echo Fuentes. How do you take care of your mental health, anxieties, and pressure during this very challenging time that we have a pandemic and you have a competition that
Mhm.
you have to be very focused on in the next few weeks?
Well, I think every day when I wake up, it's so important for me to set the tone of my day. So I put my yoga mat out actually before I go to bed. So when I wake up, I just roll out on my yoga mat and I'll just stretch and crack my back and kind of do a little meditation. And it's really me giving gratefulness for five things in my life. So I like to start my morning that way, because I would say gratefulness is what keeps me grounded. Even if I'm about to have an extremely jam packed, stressful day, at least I know that, hey, I have a roof over my head, or it's something very simple like I won Miss Texas USA, and I have really amazing parents, or something more complex. I just journal that down, or even just say it in my head. And that really just helps my mindset, because, yes, I get very, very stressed out, especially this last month. But I tell myself all these outside distractions and all these things that are not working out in my favor, I'm not going to let that affect how I feel on the inside. And I know that is easier said than done, but I have to tell myself that every single day. It is a work in progress always.
See, listening to you right now, I see now the merit why IMG or Miss USA likes to crown women who have probably accomplished, who have already a sense of maturity in handling themselves. Because just like just how I asked this question, you seem to have a firm grasp of how you have been forging your candidacy here in Miss USA by taking care of your mental health. You know what to do, what not. So it makes sense now. It really makes sense now that especially now that America seems to be looking for that type of women who they can easily identify with or become so related to or
Mhm.
invested to that they could look up to them as a role model for inspiration. So, we've been talking for an hour, and as much as I
Really?
want
Oh
to
my
extend,
gosh.
yeah, 1 hour flew by so fast. As much as I want to
Wow.
prolong this conversation, our interview, I have to end this now. And so, yeah, so there's a
Oh,
couple more
okay.
questions. I
Yeah.
know.
I'm like, looking, there's more questions. We can go over a few more if you'd like, or,
Yeah,
whatever you
sure. From
want.
Dorothy Jones, who's an avid viewer here on my platform. How do you respond to someone who would say you speak English very well for a Filipino?
Yes, well, I'm a Filipino-American, so English is my first language, and I will admit I do not speak fluent Tagalog. Pero nagan-ala gusto ko matuto. I really want to learn Tagalog. So that would be my response to that. I embrace both sides of my culture as much as I can. So yeah.
I think do you have a Filipino tutor there in Texas?
YouTube, and I text my kuya Gabe, who's on here all the time. We'll text back and forth for practice.
I think one way to effectively learn the language is to probably subscribe to TFC, the
Okay,
Filipino
TFC.
channel, so that you and probably ask your friends to buy you Filipino comics and try to read and speak
Mm-hmm.
it as
Yes.
loud as you can so that you can press so that you can eventually speak it fluently. You're
Okay.
gonna kill it.
Thank you for those recommendations.
Say, yeah. So, what are your thoughts about Celeste Cortesi? Wow, we're getting to advance.
Oh my gosh, I need to meet her one day. We actually follow each other on Instagram. When she followed me, I kind of felt like freaked out a little bit. I was like, I think she's amazing. I love watching what she does. I love her hairstyle. So I would love to meet her in person and connect with her.
Hopefully in January
Mhm.
2023.
Yes.
Miss USA can be quite so unpredictable,
Tell me about
So, oh
it.
my God. So that's why I don't put my final leaderboards on Miss USA. I don't make one because they're so unpredictable for the past 5 years since 2016. You know,
That's
I'm
the fun of it, right?
yeah, but it can really be, a huge blow to my to my credibility. So that's why I know this is just weird. I can, both Miss Universe and Miss USA have the same format, but for some reason we can easily, narrow down the girls who could win Miss Universe, but not the same for Miss USA. I mean, the whole well, I don't want to say my opinion already because it's safe because the dynamics in Miss USA is so different. I think they're also taking into consideration the political climate, the socio-economic climate. I don't know. So it's hard for me to
Mhm.
predict Miss USA, even if we really want you to win Miss USA right
I,
now.
and there's so many factors. I try to control what I can with my performance, my interview, my outfits, and everything. And the rest is just kind of like, I hope and pray because it's kind of a toss up. But honestly, that is the fun of pageantry. You never know. But my goal is to just bring my A game in every category.
Yeah, so that's why, especially now that they're putting your name on top of everyone's leaderboards. They're like, oh my gosh, how are you handling it? Like, do you dwell upon it? Do you take everything with a grain of salt?
I will be honest, they're so tempting to look at, but I really try not to look at that because it's a little bit of distraction and I don't want that to get in my head about any predictions or anything. I'd really just try to put my blinders on and just have that tunnel vision going into the pageant in Miss USA.
Yeah, I remember that line. Sozi also said that, focus with it,
Mhm. Yeah, just have that
focus with your
focus.
blinders. And from Marian K, who's your favorite Miss Universe title holder?
Ooh, I really love Catriona. I've watched all of her interviews. Like when I first started competing in pageants, I fell in love with her and the way she was able to speak. And I was like, I want to be able to speak like her one day. So she's a huge inspiration for me.
Yeah, you know, there's nothing Catriona can't answer.
Really,
Because
I'm amazed by her.
she can, yeah, that's her gift. She can really turn a simple question into a profound one
Hmm.
with her very profound answer. Like, wow.
With such ease too. It's
Yeah,
amazing to watch. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. So she's really like our standard here. Like, I don't know if it will take more than a generation for us to win Miss Universe again, just by the standard that she has placed so high for her successors for our country in Miss Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I feel. And then last few questions from Dorothy Jones again. With the rise in anti-Asian American incidents, how would you explain this to a newly immigrated Filipino boy or girl?
How would I explain this to a newly immigrated Filipino born girl? I would tell them that, hey, in America, we have so many different cultures. And because of that, unfortunately, people are judgmental towards other cultures or races just because they're different. But I would tell them to stand strong, like something as a Filipino American. That is why I'm so proud about talking about my Filipino roots all the time, because I want to share with everybody in our culture how amazing the Filipino culture is, how amazing Asian culture is. And I think it's so important, no matter what your upbringing is, to wear that proudly and share that with other people. And I think that will bridge the gap between differences in America, because people are just sometimes taken aback if they have a different type of background as you, or they even eat food a different way. But I think we just need to embrace that and educate people, and that I hope will bring people together a little bit more.
Yeah, and who better way to talk more about it than you yourself as the first
Exactly. Yeah.
Filipino American to win mixed Miss Texas USA. Times are really changing. And even the one and Avery Bishop, who just won Miss, who is the
Yes.
first woman of Asian descent to win Miss Texas America as well.
America.
Wow.
Hmm. Yes,
Yeah.
her and I haven't I haven't met her in person, but we have messages back and forth too. So I'm looking forward to connecting with her as well. It is so amazing that both of us at the same time, Miss Texas America and Miss Texas
Yeah.
USA, are Filipino Americans. That's what I'm saying. This is our year.
Yeah. You know, it rarely happens. It rarely happens that both, you know, that a lot of Asians are dominating the pageant scene. So do you think this is like, you know, do you think you can say that slowly the American audience is slowly warming up to, you know, to diversity in general as a whole?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're constantly opening up more and more to diversity, especially with Gen Z and the millennials. We're very conscious and very open-minded and embracing so many different cultures moving forward. And actually, I don't know if you're familiar, but Joe Coy, the Filipino
Yes.
actor,
He just went here.
yeah, okay. He just had a new blockbuster movie come out, and it's sharing, it's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, I would suggest go watch it. But it's just opening the door for Filipino culture here in America even more so. So I think we just need to keep fighting and representing.
Easter Sunday. I haven't
Easter
watched it yet.
Sunday, yes.
You know what? I haven't. You know what? I haven't watched some. You know, the last movie I watched was Top Gun, the sequel of Top Gun, and I watched it there in LA because a friend of mine brought me to watch a movie.
Oh,
So, but apart from that, the last movie I watched was like 2 years ago before the pandemic. So scared to go to a movie house anymore. So I don't know if that's how disoriented I am when it comes to movies here being shown in our country because I've no longer watched. So now that you mentioned Easter Sunday, I'll try
Easter
to look it
Sunday.
up if it's probably if it's already out here in Manila as well. So, you know, you've been competing in Texas before. You are representing Texas as well. Does that make you I wonder does that put also pressure on you knowing that Texas is also a huge competitive state. And I feel like Texas is like the Venezuela of Miss USA.
Oh my gosh, yes, it is pressure, absolutely. But like I said, I work good under pressure. It stresses me out a little bit, but it just keeps pushing me forward because, I have a lot of people supporting me and I represent a big state that I'm very proud of. So it pushes me to be my best at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. That's what's most important, that you give your ultimate best. So we're down to my last few questions. I'm sorry, guys. I have to wrap this up. I don't want to. I don't want to
Oh,
overextend
thank
my
y'all for
welcome
tuning
here.
in.
So crown her already. Who is speaking of Miss Texas? Who is your favorite Miss Texas title holder?
Oh, I have to say Crystal Stewart because she's not only from my hometown of Houston, but I've met her in person on my first day of my pageant journey. And I go to her Miss Academy school. So I am just like, she's a huge inspiration to me. Everything she does and what she stands for, starting the Miss Academy as well as being president of the Miss USA organization, she just keeps climbing that ladder. And I love it. So she is my favorite.
We wanna interview her here on my
Oh.
platform. I'm trying my best right now to get connected with her. I've already talked to some NDs
Oh, I
to
hope
get
that
me.
happens for you. That would be
Oh
amazing.
yeah, it's my so just for us to get to know what she's looking for in a winner, because this is her
Mhm.
second year as
Yeah.
a national director. So I'm really interested what goes on in her mind, because I
Mhm.
really want to understand the dynamics of Miss USA better, considering of their unpredictability for the past 5 to 6 years. And it is really my hope that you really finally win Miss USA. Crown her already. She has it all,
Thank you,
right?
Maria. Can you be a judge? Come
I
be
wish.
a
Oh my God. I wish we could all be a judge, and or probably let the public vote for the ultimate winner on October
Mhm.
3. So we're now here on my ultimate last two questions.
Ooh, okay.
There's no doubt that you will certainly do well in the upcoming competition. Everyone's begging you to be the next Miss USA. So I'm
Oh.
giving you the floor now. Why should you be the next Miss USA?
Well, I think I have a fresh and unique mission because I am a fashion designer and I'm using that as a force for good. I teach sewing classes at a nonprofit here in Houston to women that have survived from domestic violence, from human trafficking, and I also teach sewing classes in schools because I think it's so important to share your blessings with others and help them build confidence. And as Miss USA, I want to show people that I embrace my passion. I live, eat, and breathe it, and showing other people that they can find their passion too. I think everybody has a unique talent. We're all built with a unique greatness, and it is our personal responsibility to find that. And I want to help people unlock that. So I would love to do that as Miss USA.
Great answer. I love that you have this sense of amazing, amazing heart for your community. The operating word there is help.
Thank
So
you.
God bless you more,
Oh, thank
Miss
you. Thank you
R'Bonney Nola.
so much.
It has been such a great time interviewing you at the
This has
same
been
time. So
fun.
I know. So there's a request here from Chico Mags. Let her say, Arbony Gabriel, you're Miss USA 2022. Let's profess it as early as now.
Oh,
Gabe.
thank you. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng tulong ninyo. Thank you all so much for your support. It means the world.
So can you say that one line? Arbony Gabriela?
Say Arbany Gabriel, your Miss USA 2022.
once more with
You're
with
so sweet.
feelings, with more passion and feelings.
Okay, here we go. Arbany Gabriel, your Miss USA 2022.
Woo! You don't know how you don't know how that one simple line can impact so much to us pageant fans. So
You're the
forgive us
best.
Forgive us for asking you to do that. We live for those, one-liners because
Y'all are the
Tia
best.
did it. So
I love
you're
it.
welcome. So on that note, maraming salamat, Arbony. It
Oh,
has been such a blast getting to know
yes.
you for the past 1 hour. Thank you for engaging us. I know you have been so busy leading up to your upcoming competition. So thank you so much for your time and effort in doing this interview. And it is my hope that the next time that I interview you, you have a new crown. You have another crown, another a new crown on top of your head yet again.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Let's do it again soon. And I would also like to invite everybody to Reno, Nevada on October 3rd for the Miss USA 2022 finals. If you can't come in person, please tune in. It will be on FYI Network. So I look forward to it. And thank y'all so much for your support. Thank you, Adam. I hope we can do this again soon.
Yes, yes. Let's talk about that. Let's try to chat again. Regardless, win or lose,
Yes,
let's talk about your
yes.
Miss USA experience again. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, as my last question, can you give a message to all your followers and supporters rooting for you, cheering for you to become the next Miss USA?
Oh my gosh, to all my friends, my fans, thank you so much for the comments and the messages. I mean, it really, really means everything. It has propelled me through these last 2 months. And just know that I am fighting very, very hard, not only to represent Texas, but to represent USA and the Philippines. I am proudly representing all of you that are supporting me. So thank you so much and maraming salamat.
Mahal ka rin namin, Arbony. No doubt. Mahal ka namin. Let's claim it. Hallelujah.
Let's claim
Erica
it.
Valderrama is saying, Pac. Maria Jasmine is saying as well. Erica,
Aw.
you know what Pac means in Tagalog? That's a gay slang for, dang, push.
Okay.
And then manifesting, hashtag manifesting Chico Max is saying,
Oh,
claim it
thank you,
and win it.
Chico. Thank you, Alan. Manifesting and working for it. Thank you, Connor. Oh my gosh.
Pagdarasal ka namin,
Oh,
Arbony. Erica
Erica.
Villamar
Salamat,
is adding.
Erica.
Kaya mo yan, Gabby. From Gabby, kaya mo yan, Arbony.
Kuya Gabe.
Fight! Fight, Erica Valderrama. Cynthia Garcia is sending her love to you. Thank you so
Oh,
much
Cynthia,
again.
y'all are the best. Seriously. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Before I end this interview, I would like to give a huge shout out to Miss Anna Cantu for making this interview possible. We have been
Oh.
chatting, we have been corresponding with each other since we you were introduced. We got to know you in pageantry, and thank you so much. Please send her my highest regards.
Oh, I will. Thank you, Anna, as well. Oh my gosh, I will send her a message. She's amazing.
Always here for you. It's an honor to know and love you. Oh my
Oh,
God, coming from your best friend. Thank you
yes.
for repping us so brilliantly. Same, exactly
Oh
same
my
thoughts
gosh.
from my end.
I'm just feeling so good right now. Seriously, thank y'all so much.
Mm.
I'm
One
gonna
more
go
month
to
to
bed
go.
so happy. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna have a great dreams, all because of this energy and this love.
Thank you
Thank
so much. So glad to be an instrument so for that positive energy to channel to you,
you.
even for just an hour virtually. Thank you so much again. There you have it, guys. Maraming salamat, Arbony.
Hmm.
Virtual hugs and kisses all the way from my office here in Manila. Mwah!
Oh. Mwah.
Take care.
Okay, talk to you
Good night.
soon. Bye,
Good night over
everybody.
there. Mwah. Miss USA.